13.8 billion years ago, the Big Bang started banging. From that moment, the universe began its journey of growth and complexity. From very early on and over billions of years, stars, planets, black holes, nebulae, and galaxies formed, setting the stage for something even more remarkably complex: life. It emerged on a small rocky planet we call Earth. This life became more and more complex, eventually leading to the emergence of human brains, the most complex structure of the universe that we know of. Whatever started banging had grown its own brain. And that's what we are: the universe's brain, whose life support system is Earth. And what does this mean for your life and the future of all humanity? Let me tell you. At the end of my first video, I said that prior identity has the potential to change everything. In this video, I want to show you how it can change the world. Imagine with me. Imagine how different the world would be if humanity saw the great improv for the made-up world that it is, and ourselves for what we really are. Imagine what could happen if humanity experienced such a monumental shift in its perception of reality. Humanity's problem is that we know we're going to die. That's called mortality salience. And right now, with our daily dose of bad news regarding the endangered state of our planet and the political and social conflicts that are boiling over into hatred and war, mortality salience is off the charts. Death is in the air. And when death is in the air, something called terror management kicks in and splits us into opposing identities and worldviews that hate each other. Why? Because we find comfort in feeling like we're in the group that sees things the right way, in a world falling apart. That's how human brains manage their terror. But the research also shows that we don't even notice that this is what is happening. We don't notice that the threat to our existence is the very thing that's making us incapable of joining together to counter the threat. And so, we seek no antidote to the division and hatred. And therefore, like a bunch of Karens and Kevins, we simply stand on our separate ideological stages within the great improv, our mouths wide open, screaming our opposing worldviews at each other, our ears tightly shut, lest we hear something that makes us doubt our own view of things. We dehumanize each other, making unity impossible. But the good news is that the research shows that the antidote to the violence and hatred is a sense of common humanity. Prior identity offers us the antidote of common humanity in spectacular fashion. Why? Because prior identity offers an identity that is infinitely bigger than our social and cultural identities. And it's an identity that transcends the borders of the conceptual inventions we've drawn on maps, and over which we are willing to bomb each other out of existence, using the nuclear power of the very stars of which we are made. Imagine a world where this specter of nuclear war disappears, because knowing what humanity actually is makes even the existence of such weapons inconceivable. Imagine a world where a sense of common humanity is so profound and transformative that it has the power to mitigate the superficial divisions that we've pulled out of a conceptual hat within the great improv we don't know we're in. A world where we treat identities in the great improv with sincerity and understanding instead of fear and hatred. A world where the words of politicians who stoke this fear of other in order to make themselves great again fall on deaf ears. And finally, imagine a world where the knowledge that this planet we call Earth is the life support system of a conceptual brain of the cosmos. Imagine if that were to guide humanity's relationship with the natural world. If we can conceive of the almost inconceivable thing that humanity is, if we can conceive of our prior identity, we might step back and do things differently. If other conceptual brains like ours have come and gone by their own hands in other corners of the cosmos, it's most likely because they got so caught up in the identities, worldviews, and associated dramas within their own great improvs that their prior identity remained hidden from view, and they killed each other and their planets, never realizing what they actually were. It would be inconceivable to believe that if they did know, that they still would act as if they didn't. Maybe humanity can be different. Maybe we can experience a conceptual realization that wakes us up from the nightmare that's been dreamed up by brains that haven't known what they are. Imagine that. I've shown you how prior identity can change the world, but how can it change your life? That's the part of the story that comes next.